Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, so I woke up this morning and realized that I haven't had a chance to talk about the new Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode that aired last Tuesday. This is season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're introducing the Ghost Rider. So I'm going to get into some spoilers here, which, I mean, I don't know how else you want me to review a TV show without going into spoilers, but basically, the way the episode starts out is we have Daisy, who's now being known in the papers as Quake. Daisy is becoming a vigilante superhero. She's going around, she's knocking over banks and stuff related to a terrorist group that was introduced in the last season, the Watchdogs. There's a lot of things that have changed with S.H.I.E.L.D. that us as audiences don't know yet. They kind of drop us in, and all the changes have happened throughout the episode. You start getting little bits and pieces about what's going on. But the big thing that is special about this episode, and I think what's going to be special about this season, besides the fact that Daisy is finally doing something super heroic after, 3 seasons of a Marvel TV show not really having superheroes in it, is they've now introduced a character that some people know, which is the Ghost Rider, the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. So I don't know that much about the original Ghost Rider. All I've known is what I've learned through a comic here and there and the fucking Nicolas Cage movie. Not even both of them, just the one, the first Ghost Rider movie. So I'm not really that familiar with that Ghost Rider, but the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider I'm very familiar with and I'm really excited about. And I'll get into that a little bit later as to why. So the episode starts out with Daisy going after, these criminals, and she's catching up with them. It shows bits of them running around and her suiting up in her old suit from last season, the whole black with the arm bracer things. When she catches up with them, the Ghost Rider shows up, and that scene is amazing. His car is covered in flames. He shows up and he apparently has already killed part of their group, and then is coming to get the rest, and he ends up abducting someone, and you get this cool shot of everything on fire, and Daisy's trying to look through the fire and can't really make out what she's seeing. Then the episode moves on to the S.H.I.E.L.D. crew and talking about what's happening with Coulson. Coulson's no longer the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's a new director. We don't know who they are. He's just a regular agent now. Somehow, Agent Simmons has higher clearance than all of them, and people are actually, her friends, Agent May and everybody, are actually afraid to talk to her too much because she's so good with this director person, and no one really trusts the director. The scientist guy from the last season, who he wasn't really a bad guy, he was just kind of a foolish scientist who can't tell the difference between don't do that and do that. So he's created life model decoys, which is something that is big in the comics. That's to explain why people die and then come back. It's because whenever you see someone die, it's a life model decoy. And then the episode ends with Daisy locating where Ghost Rider is. She puts some pieces together of how to find him based on the car that he's driving and where you can get parts for those cars, and locates the junkyard in which Robbie Reyes works. And there's just a lot of great things, but that fight scene at the end between Daisy and Ghost Rider when he shifts into Ghost Rider is amazing. And I've actually seen people post up that fight scene several times, on Facebook and social media, of just that one scene, because his transformation looks awesome. The way the skull looks different than what you are used to with the Ghost Rider movies, and it matches what is going on in the Ghost Rider comic, which I'm gonna get into that a little bit now as why I'm so excited for this season of S.H.I.E.L.D. is because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is because Robbie Reyes, the spirit that's controlling him, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the spirit controlling him is not the same as what was going on with the original Ghost Rider. There's an entity that is controlling Robbie that you'll learn about that has an actual connection to Robbie, and when you start realizing what it is, it's actually pretty crazy and fucked up. And I don't know how dark they're gonna go with that, or how true they're gonna be to the comic. Considering in this episode they were talking about how the Ghost Rider literally shreds your soul, and he ripped one dude's spine out of his ass, and there was a lot of blood and stuff. So I'm hoping they can stay as true to the comic as possible, but I just don't know how true they can be, because it does get really dark. There's a point in the comic where when you realize what's possessing him, you're just like, oh my god, really? So and one thing that I was also happy to see is at the end they show you that he has a disabled brother, and it kind of makes you realize he's not a complete villain. There's some reason behind that. And the other thing that I thought was really cool about this episode was when him and Daisy are fighting, he's clearly about to win the fight, Daisy knows that he punishes evil people, and she pretty much is asking him to kill her because of the actions that took place in season 3, where she was basically under mind control and killed a lot of people and lost the love of her life. So I thought that was a really cool thing. The negatives about the episode, I feel like the way they handled the time jump was very confusing. Like, for instance, when they did the time jump at the end of the last season, I can't recall if they at least let you know how much time has passed. But when this episode starts and you're looking at S.H.I.E.L.D. and you're wondering what's going on, there's no real indicator of how much time has passed. So you can assume it's just a couple of weeks. Everyone's just kind of everywhere, and they're introducing just a lot of information, which, watching S.H.I.E.L.D. every season, I know that certain things here and there are going to come back and be like, oh shit moments. Like, they were messing with virtual reality stuff, the life model decoy stuff. It could have been handled just a little bit better, maybe just a little bit more exposition. Another great thing about the episode is a lot of people, okay, when they're having the whole argument about Marvel versus DC, you know, who had the better movie this year of superheroes fighting? Was it Batman v Superman, or was it Captain America Civil War? You know, I'm not going to get into that debate right now, but one of the arguments people had, one of the things people complain about Batman v Superman, and I've said it myself, is, oh yeah, at the end of the movie, there's going to be no repercussions because we know they formed the Justice League. And then when people saw Civil War, they're like, oh yeah, there's going to be no repercussions because we know there's going to be other Avengers movies and things like that. So now in this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it actually shows you that characters like Yo-Yo, the Inhuman that's able to like jump like a couple feet ahead and like that in a second, within a heartbeat, she actually can't use her powers because of the Sokovia Accords of Civil War. So the Sokovia Accords are still in effect and affecting everyone. So, and that's part of the reason why they're trying to arrest Daisy, is because she's using her powers as an enhanced Inhuman, and she's not being asked by the government to do so. And they show you that with Yo-Yo, because she is registered, Mac meets her and he has to go through this whole interview process of the shit that she's been doing for the last couple weeks, and then asking her why she bought tickets to Miami and all stuff. So they're just like all in your shit. Like, it's just overall, it's like they're on almost like on a registry where they need to report what they're doing because they're Inhumans. That was a very interesting thing, and I also thought it was cool that they decided to show you, yes, the Sokovia Accords actually is a big deal. So all the characters that you love, like Ant-Man, Captain America, all of them in the movie universe, yeah, if they're found, they're going to be arrested because they escaped from that prison. So all that stuff actually does matter. So that makes me even more curious to see how they're going to go with that. Another small negative about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4 is I'm wondering how long they're going to do the whole Ghost Rider versus Daisy thing. Because if it's going to be an argument of ideologies, we kind of just had that in Daredevil Season 2. We had the character that we know doing things, you know, heroically, and then we have a character that we're being introduced to that doesn't do it heroically. Like, they stop crime, but they kill criminals, and that seems to be what's happening with Ghost Rider. And I hope it's not going to be that same conversation again, because I don't think it can get better than how Daredevil handled it. And also, with Daredevil Season 2 and, you know, Captain America Civil War, I'm kind of don't want to keep seeing ideologies arguing with each other about, no, the way I do it is better, no, the way I do it is better. But anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4. I'm excited about this season. It looks like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is finally becoming the show people wanted it to be, which is, I want to see superheroes on TV, not just in the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. I'm just happy that that's finally happening. Anyway, those are my thoughts, guys. See you next time.